This is a special edition of Late Night Health. We're focusing on the CBD industry. Hi, I'm Mark Alyn. Recently, we've been reviewing the various manufacturing aspects of CBD with open book extracts. They're dedicated to assisting its customers with bringing safe and effective products to market. Today, our special guest is Nicole Brown, the Chief Innovation Officer for Open Book Extracts, and we're going to take a look at several trends shaping the CBD industry. Welcome to Late Night Health, Nicole Brown.
Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here.
As Chief Innovation Officer for Open Book Extracts, what do you see as new and exciting in terms of product development?
Well, there is so much innovation going on in the realm of product development in this industry today. And, a few of the biggest and most exciting trends that we see, really as a result of what we've all been going through over the past 18 months or so is a real renewed interest in health and wellness routines, and that really consumers are very much focused on building routines to take their health into their own hands and really know what's going to work for them. And cannabinoids are a really powerful part of that overall health and wellness story. So creating formulations and products that can be very targeted to deliver on certain outcomes, be it to support better sleeping habits, to relieve pain, to provide relief from anxiety, so many conditions that are really getting a lot of attention. And when it comes to product development, we're seeing some very sophisticated approaches when it comes to those kinds of formulations, the kinds of products that you can make, what kind of form that shows up in, and really being able to build a product that's going to serve people's needs really, really well.
There's everything from chewing gum to I've got some mints here. Here's another product, which are gummies. I love these. I like the mints as well. What kinds of products are being developed that people didn't think about, even say 5 years ago, that would have CBD in it?
There's quite a few. So, when this industry began, tinctures or oil drops were probably the most familiar format and was really synonymous with the category. And over the past several years, you've seen an explosion in product development to really introduce some new forms to the category. So you shared a few right here, gummies, which we've started to see really rise outside of our industry, right? In the nutraceutical space, you've got your daily gummy vitamins, you've got your sleep gummies. So really starting to see gummies overall in this industry start to be a very welcomed format. It's a really good dosage delivery service where you have a single dose in one gummy. It really helps people to understand that they're taking the proper amounts. Products that you're familiar with from, vitamin categories like chewable tablets or tablets you can swallow or soft gels. Again, that kind of sophistication of form that you might have been familiar with from how you take your daily wellness supplements or your vitamins is now really starting to take shape in the CBD category to open the aperture of the category as wide as possible to different familiar form factors that feel more comfortable to a consumer that they've seen before that are now being leveraged for cannabinoid products.
Can manufacturers who have products, say supplements for example, that have been shying away from adding CBD to a product line, is now the time to do that with open book extracts?
Absolutely, yes. And a lot of the customers and clients that we serve span a wide variety of industries. So you've got CBD brands for sure, but really those nutrition and supplement companies are starting to pay very close attention and at the very least start to develop their own formulations, invest the time in R&D to really deliver on the products and the outcomes that they want to produce. Now, some of those clients are expecting and awaiting clarity to come from different regulatory bodies, be it the FDA or the government or otherwise, before they might fully launch products. But even some of those largest companies in the world are saying that they're not ready to wait any longer, that the category is too evolved, that consumers are demanding these products very much. And so they're taking matters into their own hands by finding the right partner and supplier to work with who is having that level of quality standard that they're familiar with in their industries, to have the confidence to start to build products and get those products into market now.
In the restaurant industry, on menus, they'll say something like farm to table. Open Book Extracts actually has farm to manufacturing for just about anything that a provider could require. Am I right? You have a whole campus in North Carolina that you built?
That's correct. So in our industry, our version of farm to table is soil to oil, or seed to shelf, you might hear. And our operations expands the entire chain of custody of the supply chain. So we start all the way back with sourcing the seeds that we choose to develop. We bring those seeds to our farmers in our farm network. We do our own cultivation through our network of farmers. And then when we harvest those products, that harvest is brought into our manufacturing campus, which is also located in North Carolina, 76,000 square feet. We are GMP certified. That stands for Good Manufacturing Practices, for CFR 111 and CFR 117. That's for food processing and for nutraceuticals. And so under our roof in North Carolina is where our team is able to produce all of the ingredients that serve the industry today. So ingredients like full spectrum distillate, broad spectrum distillate, isolates like CBD isolate, CBG, CBN. And so we can produce all of those ingredients at purity and at quality, and then we can formulate with those ingredients and produce finished products with those ingredients. So it allows us to have that full traceability through the entire life cycle of the plant, all the way through to its finished good that sits on a shelf for a consumer to purchase.
According to, American Progressive Grocer magazine, 58% of Americans don't understand the difference between CBD and THC. Do manufacturers, people who are producing product, do they understand the difference, do you think? Or are they still learning as well?
I think everyone's learning so much every day. And a lot of our role at Open Book Extracts when we work with our clients is to serve as that educational partner, to have meetings with those internal teams, to really provide them with that education, to understand the various differences. What's the difference between marijuana and hemp? What's the difference between CBD and THC? And how can you have those levels of assurances in the products you develop? And then also these companies are going to be the ones to help educate those consumers as well, so that when you walk into a store and you see a product, you understand what it means to have a THC-free or zero THC product with CBD in it. What do you need to look for? How is that going to be played out? And so that's really where we see, one of our biggest roles in the industry is to help educate and to help pass along that education.
And as the Chief Innovation Officer, you also help companies develop new products and educate them, and eventually the consumer as well.
Absolutely. So when it comes to innovation, really working collaboratively with our partners to identify what are your objectives for your product development. What are you trying to create? Are you looking to create products to support better sleep, to provide pain relief? Are you in the sports nutrition category? Are you in a wellness category? Do you want to create energy-focused products? And once we determine that, really being very much a partner to help them decide which ingredients to work with, how to formulate those ingredients, what additional complementary ingredients can also be wrapped around those hero cannabinoids that anchor the formula. What type of product do you want to make? Do you want to make it into a gummy or a tablet or a tincture or a strip or another product? And really helping to guide that process all the way from that conceptual product brief all the way through to a finished good.
And at the same time, everything is growing, expanding. I mean, the number of categories that CBD is fitting into is exploding.
That's absolutely right. And you can think about in, gosh, any other industry, whether it's, the beauty industry, the pet industry, the fact that you have this set of ingredients, these cannabinoids that come from the plant that have a role to play in nearly every industry you can name, whether it's the food and beverage industry, the supplements industry, the pet industry, the beauty industry. It really has such a wide reach of how it can create really powerful products. And it's really a unique category because of that you have these sets of ingredients that, really provide true efficacy and true results in all of these varied industries. So it's really going to play a huge role commercially in the years to come.
Would you say that Open Book Extracts is a one-stop shop for ingredient buyers who are looking for non-THC or zero THC CBD, as well as advice and recommendations on how to incorporate CBD into either an existing product line or to expand a product line?
That's absolutely correct. And it really was the catalyst and the origin story for building Open Book Extracts, was understanding how needed a company like ours was for the supply chain to not only have that assurance for the ingredients themselves, for their quality and their purity, but to really solve for those pain points and problems that exist throughout the supply chain of how difficult it is to find a good formulation team to work with that has that level of expertise to build really sophisticated formulas, as well as to be able to find and identify the right manufacturing partners. We ourselves have personally audited over 100 different contract manufacturers to identify the ones that provide that level of quality, that level of service that matches ours, that's going to allow us to deliver those products. So when you put all of that together into that one-stop shop, it alleviates so many stresses for a client that's had to manage that on their side and try and figure this out on their own. So they have a lot of confidence when they work with us that they know that all of that has been heavily vetted and handled, and so that they can come to us and that, collaborating with us will result in them having a more efficient process, a higher quality product at the other side, and just having that overall, ease of working relationship.
In our remaining time, where is Open Book Extracts going? I mean, I know that there are other extracts, if you will, from hemp that are being discovered that have medicinal uses. Can you explain some of where you think Open Book Extracts is going?
Certainly. So the area we're really excited about right now is to invest in research into the category to help build that body of evidence for these particular ingredients and these ingredients within formulations. So we are embarking on a journey here to create these customized formulations, leveraging all of our various ingredients that we produce and develop in-house to create those ratioed product formulations that can have targeted benefits for sleep or pain or energy or weight loss or a number of different conditions. And once we identify those formulations, being able to work with partner groups such as universities and otherwise to truly validate those formulations for their efficacy and for their mechanisms of action, and then being able to bring those to market with having truly tested and research-backed products and formulations that will allow consumers to have even higher levels of confidence in the products they're taking, as well as better outcomes and better results. So as an area of focus for open book extracts, that's really where we see ourselves focusing as a number one priority. That will also tie into the development of innovation. Once you have those formulations, the different forms that it can take, whether that's extending release through different technologies. So you could have a extended release sleep tablet or something with targeted layers of release. Again, really looking very deeply at what technologies can exist. We've already seen so much evolution in the past several years, and we think that evolution is just going to accelerate and get an even steeper curve as we move forward and see what's possible.
It's really just beginning. Nicole, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Great smile. This has been a special edition of Late Night Health. Our guest has been Nicole Brown, from Open Book Extracts Manufacturing. And if you want information, we've had the website up, but I'll say it for you right now. It's openbookextracts.com. I'm Mark Alyn. Thanks for watching. We'll be back soon here on Late Night Health.
Thank you.